I cut off my head again. Ah! Hello my friends, my name is Christine and welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video where I will be sharing some of my favorite air fryer veggie recipes, I guess you could call them. I wouldn't really call them a recipe. Truthfully, you can watch for the next 10 seconds and then I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. And then you don't need to watch the rest of the video if you don't want to. But before I tell you my big secret when it comes to cooking the best veggies in the air fryer, you're gonna have to hit that thumbs up button. I cannot move on until you hit that button and it turns a different color. So go ahead and do that right now and then tell me down in the comments what color the thumbs up button turns for you. Now that we have completed that, let's go over some of my favorite things to cook in the air fryer. Seriously, they're so easy. The only thing I do is I chop them so they're like forkable basically, and add oil, salt, and pepper. That's like, that is all I do. If you add the right amount of seasoning, namely salt, any of your food will taste good. So if you guys have been eating veggies and you're like, whoa, this is so gross, it's so bland, it doesn't taste like anything, you don't have enough salt. Let's jump into the recipes of some of my favorite veggies that I've, honestly guys, this is like, I've been using the air fryer every single day for dinner. It is so quick and easy. The oven doesn't have to preheat. This sucker is so easy to clean. And hey, by the way, if your significant other is looking for a gift for Mother's Day, you still have time to buy this on Amazon. Like even ladies, you can buy it for yourself and then hand it to your husband and say, here, this is my Mother's Day present. Go ahead and wrap it up. I've never done that personally. Just kidding, I actually have. You know, that could be something that you do for yourself. So I have a Cosori 5.8 quart air fryer. I did not think I was gonna like it as much as I do, but this is what I have. Let's go check out some of my favorite veggies. Hey, here's one of my favorite vegetables to do in my air fryer, and it's green beans. I have trimmed up approximately, this is about 2.5 pounds of green beans, and I cut them this way because it's easier for the kids to eat. You can totally leave them bigger if you want. I just find like with my 4 kids, having these smaller bite size, like forkable size of green beans, it just works better. So, and I have had people comment that my air fryer is large, and it is. It's almost a 6 quart. I believe it's a 5.8 quart Cosori air fryer. I will of course leave it linked down below for you. Truthfully, I'm using this guy way more than I thought I would. I did not think I was gonna use it this much, but I have found that it's my favorite way to make a quick vegetable side dish. Let's start with green beans and I'll show you the rest of my favorite vegetables to cook in the air fryer as we go throughout this video. So 2.5 pounds of green beans. My seasoning, like I said in a previous video, are basically all the same as far as vegetables. You want a fat of some kind, salt and pepper, and that's it. And of course, if you like garlic powder, that would be great to add. I've done paprika. You can do an Italian seasoning. You can spice it up in a lot of different ways, but your basics are gonna be oil, salt, and pepper. I am starting with my oil. I just do a little drizzle to coat everything. And this will be a great learning experience if you're not used to salting food, like how much you really need. And what I was taught when you're roasting vegetables, that's kind of what you're doing right here, is to add what you think you need and then add a little bit more. And then that's the right amount. So I'm gonna go with maybe about that of my kosher salt. I just have a big bottle of black pepper, getting a little low, so I might need to put that on my next Sam's Club shopping trip list. I like to have a running list on my fridge all the time when I run low on something. Not too much on the pepper. You can go a little overboard pretty quickly and give it a little stir. Make sure everything is incorporated. The oil, the salt is everywhere, the pepper is everywhere. And for a green bean, all you're gonna do is pop it into the air fryer for approximately 10 minutes. So let's go stick that in. Okay. Into the air fryer we go. And I have a button that's like a broccoli button, but basically it's 300 degrees for 10 minutes and I shake it in the middle. You know, I think I'm actually gonna take the temperature up. Oops. Got it. Okay, I just pulled out the green beans and you see how a couple of them are slightly brown, like that. It's perfect. You can hear them whistle at you. Woo-hoo-hoo. Right, this is perfect. Okay, I would say 350, 10 minutes. Give it a little shake in the middle. And it's amazing, like it looked so full when I put it in there. This was 2.5 pounds of green beans. And that, I mean, that's like barely gonna feed us.
Yeah, we'll go through that.
That is not that much. So yeah, there you go, green beans. Ooh, yes, let's eat dinner. Next vegetable is going to be asparagus. And I have about 2 pounds of rinsed, chopped up asparagus here. And just like the green beans, I like to chop it into easy bite-sized pieces for the kids. Now, of course, you can leave it large if you want, but just because I have kids to consider, they'll eat it more easily when it's small like this. So just like the other one, we're gonna go with a drizzle of oil, our salt and pepper, and today we're gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. I was gonna go fresh garlic, and I thought I had some that was already peeled, but I can't find that. And I'm feeling lazy. I don't wanna peel and chop fresh garlic. So we're just gonna use this, it'll work just fine. We're gonna cook this at about 350 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes in the air fryer. Here are the completed asparagus. I'm telling you, if you can't get your kids to eat asparagus, chop them into smaller chunks and they might give them a whirl. Next up, we are going to do potatoes. Now, I figured you know how to cut potatoes into French fry shape and put French fry seasoning on your potatoes. So instead we went with a nice Yukon Gold, and I'm cutting them into wedges this time. One of my favorite ways to eat potatoes, I actually stumbled across this on a camping trip a couple years ago, is I had sliced Yukon Gold potatoes just like this, and I put oil, salt, pepper, and a ton of garlic on them, and I wrapped them in foil and I threw them over the fire. We just call them foil potatoes. And they were the most delicious thing on the planet Earth. So I've been trying to like recreate my foil potatoes ever since. So I just sliced them like that. I did end up using the rest of my French fry seasoning that I like to pick up from the Dollar Tree. So it's just $1 for this really delicious, basically really heavily seasoned salt that I use on russet potatoes chopped into French fry shape. But I mean, same seasoning, they're still potatoes. I just cut them a little bit differently. Either one is totally fine. Now my Kasori has a French fry button, which is 380 degrees for 25 minutes. And it gives me a little chime in the middle, like right at 13 minutes, and you're supposed to shake them really, really good. Just kind of stir them around so they cook evenly. So I've definitely started doing that, and I feel like they make a more evenly cooked potato. And then at the end, you are left with these delicious golden brown potatoes. Now, I adore potatoes. I think they're so delicious. So I think of all things, potatoes should be like one of the most #1 things that you try in your air fryer first. They're so good. Today's air fryer veggie is going to be cabbage. I had just a little bit of purple cabbage left, and I cut up a half of a Napa cabbage. That's about all that fit in there. And do you want to take a guess of what I seasoned it with? That's right, oil, salt, and pepper. Mixed it up, and because cabbage cooks quickly, this one will not cook as long. So I think we're gonna go 300 for 10 minutes on this one, and we'll check it at 5. Cabbage is all finished, a little bit of brown on the top, soft enough to eat, but not total mush, and clearly very hot. Hey, it is time to cook up my carrot fries, and today I'm gonna be using some olive oil as my fat. And now I am planning on using my traditional salt and pepper. I find that my favorite is just like a big chunky kosher salt. I feel like it sits really nicely on the vegetable and brings out the flavor well, but I did want to show you some other options. Any traditional flavoring you have like this that has salt already in it is going to taste really, really good. I have used seasoning blends like this on all kinds of potato cuts a lot of the time, and this has salt in it already. So maybe I'll just open up the Sicilian blend, do a little sprinkle on, not French fry shapes, but just chunked up potatoes as an Italian inspired roasted potato. These would also go really nicely on carrots or any other vegetable that you want, but this is something that I also do often. If you want to branch out on your flavor profiles instead of just salt and pepper. But I am just gonna use salt and pepper because I actually really enjoy the flavor of carrots themselves, just enhanced with a little bit of salt. So let's go with that salt. And remember, like I said earlier, you do what you think you need and then you add just a little bit more. Your standard black pepper right here. Give it a little stir. And carrots actually take a really long time to cook. Even in the oven, I find that they're not cooked quite enough based on a lot of recipes recommendations. They take about as long as potatoes do, maybe sometimes a touch longer, depending on how hard your carrots are and depending on how crunchy you like them in the first place when they're cooked. Now, I can kind of eat them fairly crunchy, but my kids don't prefer them that way, so I actually do like to cook them a little bit over. So I'm gonna pop this in my air fryer and we're gonna go about 350 degrees for approximately 25 minutes, stirring in the middle. Always make sure you turn your air fryer on. Otherwise it won't work. Completed carrot fries. I find that these take quite a bit more oil than a lot of the other veggies that I like to cook. I think you should try them. I think the roasted flavor is really, really delicious. It's so easy. Oil, salt, pepper. You're good to go. Even if you want to run to the Dollar Tree and pick up that French fry seasoning and put that on everything, that's a winner. My go-tos in the air fryer, like you saw in this video, are green beans, asparagus. I didn't show you Brussels sprouts, but that's one of them as well. Carrot fries, French fries, potato wedges, cabbage is amazing. Broccoli is fantastic. You can even do frozen broccoli here in the air fryer. Mind blown, you guys. So I will leave the one that I have linked down below for you, and truthfully, honestly, like for real here, I find these incredibly easy to clean. Mine just pops apart in 2 easy little steps, and this sucker wipes right clean. I have been using this red kasori for at least a year, 4 to 5 days a week. Does that look filthy to you? I mean, seriously, it almost looks brand new. Like, that's how easy this is to clean. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, just one more reminder to hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you don't want to miss any of my future videos, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And that's gonna be about it for this video. So thanks for joining me. I always have a great time hanging out with you, and check out here or here if you want to see any other videos that I've done, and I'll see you in the next one.